Good afternoon, everybody. Hey, my name is Vince Cochran. Just wanted to take some time to give all of you a little bit of a behind the scenes look at what it takes to put together an online worship service. First, wanted to just introduce myself. I know there may be some in our church family who don't know me very well because a lot of times I'm upstairs in the sound and media booth or am running around between here and there. Again, I'm Vince Cochran. Friends tend to call me Vinny, so consider you all friends, so you're welcome to call me Vinny as well. I basically am from southeastern Indiana here and born and raised. And I am one of those people who, for lack of better words, just have always had a curiosity for how things work in life. As a kid, I was one of those kids who always took their toys apart. And my mom, dad, and stepdad always said, we don't care what you do, just don't burn the house down. Just wanted to introduce myself for those who don't know me very well, but I have a passion for technology and just kind of, again, understanding how things work. And I know there are some in our church and in our community who also have kind of that curiosity, and I thought it might be good to just give you all a little bit of a behind the scenes look at putting together an online worship service, and even just not just that, but kind of talk a little bit about, like, in the normal circumstances, a little bit of behind the scenes of the sound and media team. So on a normal Sunday, when we are in our church at First Baptist, there is a number of people who work behind the scenes to put together the set for worship, for the different songs, to make sure video is streaming into to the fellowship hall, and as well as making sure things sound well. So on a typical Sunday, we usually have two sound techs, one who is in the booth in the sanctuary, and another individual who usually sits in the fellowship hall to control things there. We have a media tech who does all of the slides, makes sure Pastor Cliff's slides appear correctly on the screen, as well as the lyrics for our worship service. And we also have an individual who mans our camera to send the basic video through to the fellowship hall. Number of different pieces of equipment, varying age from a year and a half old to some of it is getting close to 20 years old. So while technology is great, we make the best of what we have, and we are blessed to have the technology to be able to do the things we do on a typical Sunday, but also in many ways use that same technology to make this online service possible. So, as most of you know, we are dealing with yourselves. The coronavirus or COVID-19 has made us look for different ways to bring worship to you each week. Last week, we were able to actually have a small group go in to the church. If you watched the service last Sunday, would seen it. It was actually at the church to do some recording and to basically get things ready for that Sunday. This past week wasn't quite possible to do that. So again, a little bit of a challenge, but we were able to make it work. Felt like it worked very well, and again, much thanks to those who have supported the worship ministry and have gone above and beyond to make sure videos are recorded and sent over so that we can put everything together for the service. So just wanted to give you a little bit of behind the scenes look again at that, and kind of show you. So I'm actually at home. I'm going to share my screen here in a minute just so you can kind of see some of the software that we use. A little bit of a nerd plug here, so I am a nerd at heart. I don't apologize for it, and I know there's many of you out there who are as well, and don't ever apologize for it. And there's some of you who are a little maybe adverse to technology, but still are curious how things work. So I think you'll enjoy this as well. One of the things you're going to see is I'm going to kind of explain a little bit about the software that we use again, and just kind of show at a very high level kind of what we did to put this past today's service together actually, and let you see that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, and you'll see here that I have some slides pulled up here. This software that I'm showing you right now is called ProPresenter. This is the same software we use each Sunday at First Baptist to project the lyrics on the screen. And basically the worship leader each week puts together a set of the songs we're going to sing in kind of the order of service. We use another software called Planning Center. It's actually an online tool. Worship leaders can actually go in and kind of plan out the service and kind of the order in which things are going to take place. And we've used ProPresenter at First Baptist since about 2014. We use Macs, Apple's computer. I know that there's some people like, I can't believe you use Mac. I'm only a PC person. Not to get on that boat, but I will tell you that I work in IT, and everything that I have done, or we have done for this past 2 weeks, I have been using my 7-year-old MacBook Pro. It would run circles around some of the newer computers today, so it's very stable. I like it. Use what works best for you. But we do at First Baptist also use iMacs is what we have. So that's basically the desktop version of the computer that I have in a way. We have a couple of those machines. We have 2 of those machines, one which we use to do the lyrics, and then the other one which we use for our video editing, and also to pass the stream through our equipment into the fellowship hall. So interestingly enough, the software that we use each Sunday has also played a big role in our online worship service. So as you've seen in our stream, we've basically been able to overlay the lyrics with the video. And you'll see here, this past Sunday, or actually today's service, and you'll see the different songs which we sang this morning in worship. And you'll notice here that they have a green background, and I'll explain that here in just a minute. But you can see, so basically Carice put this set together. In Planning Center, I was able to import the set into ProPresenter. And we use CCLI at First Baptist, and we have our copyright license and our streaming license, which is what allows us to stream the lyrics with the video on our online service. So very important. And the nice thing about CCLI is there's an integration with ProPresenter called Song Select, which basically allows us to pull in the CCLI licensed songs into ProPresenter with all of the lyrics, words, and everything, and then we can reflow that as needed so that it appears correctly on the slides and so forth. This blank slide is CCLI, you'll see here. So it is a requirement that we show the licensing and copyright information with each song. So ProPresenter has some options in doing that and allows you to basically do that on the first slide throughout the presentation and so forth. We choose to do it on the first slide. So when I simply click this slide here to display it, you'll see that licensing information here shows on that very first slide. And then here is kind of this different song or different verses of the song. And within there, we can control the arrangement. So if we want to, however Carice or whoever's leading worship wants to do this, they can basically go in here and adjust the order in which the different parts of the song are sang or performed. So just a little bit of background about ProPresenter, and again, kind of what we did. So typically, we would have standard backgrounds behind these. As you can see here, this is called the video image bin. This is where we would pick the backgrounds to go behind the lyrics of a song. We normally would be projecting these during service on Sunday. So even though we're not projecting lyrics, we're still using ProPresenter to basically generate kind of the stream of lyrics to then flow through on our videos as well. So Again, I'll explain the green background here in just a minute. So another tool that we've used, and actually it's fairly new to me, but it's been around for a while, and it's actually a free tool. It's called OBS. So OBS is an open source software, and what I mean by open source, for those of you who don't know what that means, basically it's free software that they publish essentially the source code online, and developers can download the code, they can make tweaks and things to it as well, and then they can actually submit those things to the OBS platform, and it may potentially get picked up as a potential enhancement in their software as well. But I'm going to close out a Pro Presenter just because we don't need that anymore here. Just a second here. And I'll open up OBS so that you can kind of see what it looks like. The reason I started using OBS is that basically I can set up different things that can capture different outputs, and it works a lot like almost kind of like a little mini production studio in a way. Basically I can capture the output from Pro Presenter, I can capture different things, and then you can actually record it. So what we did for this past week is Carice had sent me the videos for her for the time of worship. I was able to watch those videos and then in Pro Presenter kind of follow along and go through the lyrics just like we would in a normal Sunday service. And I was able to record that output from Pro Presenter in OBS and then use that video when I put everything together. So that's basically how that worked. The other thing you can do with OBS, which we've not tried, I shouldn't say we haven't tried it, but we tried it just to see how it worked, was live streaming. So OBS can actually capture what is being displayed. You can put camera inputs into it, so forth and so on. And then you can actually send that stream over to YouTube and actually do a live broadcast. It also can stream to Facebook as well, but it can only do one at a time. That is one limitation of the software. But for being free, it's actually pretty cool. There's still a lot I have to learn about it. I've not used it a lot, but I know enough to be dangerous at this point. So anyway, so that's a little bit about OBS. The other software that I use and love is called Final Cut Pro. This is only available on the Mac. We use it at First Baptist, so when we publish the sermons online, as we have in the past, this is the software we use to do all of the editing, to basically create a video that we can export, upload to our service, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, whatever it may be. So some of you who have an iPhone or a Mac may be familiar with a software called iMovie. Final Cut Pro is very, very similar to iMovie. It is actually, hang on just a second here, gotta change the setting here real quick. There we go. Sorry about that. So Final Cut Pro is basically very similar in that iMovie is kind of like the free version that comes with Macs, and also you can download it as an app on, I believe, the iPhone and iPad. Does a lot of the same stuff that Final Cut can do. Final Cut's just more of I guess you could say it's more of like iMovie on steroids. So it has a lot of different features and things here, and so basically what we used Final Cut for was how things worked this past week. Each person who played a part in this week's service recorded their videos at home, and then we used Google Drive to upload those videos to a shared location that I could have access to. I was able to pull all those videos down, pull each of those videos into Final Cut, and then kind of put everything together to bring the service today. So what you are seeing here on the screen is today's worship service from March 29th. And you can see here, up here in this browser here, are all the different video clips, slides, whatever that we worked with. And then all of this down here again as more video clips, and then you can see here, as I keep going, you can see, oh, there's those lyric slides that came in here. Down here, this is called a storyline. So this is kind of where the magic happens, I would call it. So basically, in Final Cut, there is a what's called a storyline. This is kind of basically where you piece all the different pieces together in the video. So you can kind of see this is the actual service that was shown today on YouTube and Facebook as premieres. And you can see here, as I scroll over, it's kind of just, and that's why it's called the storyline. It's kind of the whole order of service here, and you can see these different little parts. And as I scroll what's called a playhead over this, you can see that right here's the title that comes up. And as I keep scrolling over, give my computer a second to catch up here. You can see the audio levels here. Here's Pastor Greg's clip. And if I scroll on over here a little bit, you're going to see here's the innovation update that was given today. And then all of a sudden, here we have Carice. And this is our worship service. So I'm going to just put my playhead right here. And I'm going to play this real quick.
What's up,
and you'll see that
I don't know where you are right now.
we have the title.
But I'm sitting in my house just south of town.
And then all of a sudden, here in a few minutes or in a few seconds,
our Lord and Savior,
we're going to see something show up on the screen. Oh, look at that. So right here is the copyright information for the song. And I let it play a little bit longer.
Let's do it.
And you can see the lyrics now show. And you notice this green background here. Well, for those of you who watch the news, and this is actually not new technology. You've heard of the green screen effect, or what they call chroma key. So what we basically do, the reason why we have this green background is there's an effect you can apply in Final Cut that basically acts as the green screen. So what happens is anything that's green is taken out, and then the clip here becomes the background clip. So basically it removes the green background and then overlays anything that's not green, which would be the lyrics, on top of Carice's video here. So that's how we are displaying the lyrics on top of the different videos here. If I move my playhead here and let it play a little bit. You'll see the lyrics change here in just a minute.
Child of God.
And then, as you can see, it just kind of continues to play on. So there's actually a number of different ways you can actually tackle what we did here. So you can actually, in ProPresenter, export the slides out as images, and then you can actually put the images in here. You could have also, what we could have done is brought the video feed into OBS. OBS has a feature with a green screen or chroma key as well. We could have done it there. I elected to do it in Final Cut just because it gives me a little bit more flexibility and I can arrange. And the reason why I didn't do it as slides is you notice between each of the different verses, ProPresenter does like a dissolve and kind of its own like way of flowing. And I wanted to keep that with the video so that it looked more natural and wasn't so choppy. And honestly, it was not hard at all to do. I just basically brought the clip in, adjusted it so that the timing matched up with what Carice was singing at the time, and proceeded on to make that work. So again, a number of different ways that you can do what we did with the lyrics. This is the way I chose to do it. Wasn't very hard. and kind of cool to see how it actually works. You can see here in my inspector panel here that when I select this clip, it has the key information here and a number of different things that I can adjust with that as well. So anyway, that's basically what we did, and put everything together. And then you can, if I'm just kind of going to scroll over here a ways, and you can see here the lyrics are gone, and you see these little gray boxes that in between the videos. These are called dissolves. So what this does is it basically allows you between clips to have a dissolve. And you'll notice how it kind of faded and then went to clip here.
Good
And then
to
here's
see you today.
the title here before his sermon. So just wanted to kind of show that and just kind of show how that works. And then kind of scroll on and past here and get toward the end of the service. And make sure I didn't just mess this up. There we go. I accidentally clicked and it tried to move the clip. So anyway, so I'm going to scroll on over here ways. And we can see here is the benediction song, the benediction, and then all of a sudden it comes to the end of the clip. So anyway, I know kind of a long explanation, but for those of you who have never done video editing or were kind of curious how we put everything together, just wanted to give you kind of an inside glimpse to this. I will tell you, I am by no means an expert in this. My wife Valerie, she went to school for broadcast journalism. That's what she went to school for, and she does this on occasion. I know you guys have seen the graduation videos and things in the past, and she uses Final Cut as well to kind of put a lot of that stuff together. I do it more as a hobby. I will be honest with you. I am tickled to be able to help with this time of doing online worship. I just enjoy it. It's more fun for me than anything, and I'm by no means professional at this. There's a lot that I still learn each time I do it. This was actually the very first time I ever used chroma key with a video with the lyrics, and was very pleased with how it turned out. And more just wanted to make this video for those of you who aren't sure about what the Sound of Media team do, or just kind of want to have a little bit of an understanding of what kind of takes place behind the scenes. I encourage you, if you have any type of curiosity or would love to play a part in what the Sound of Media team does each Sunday, to reach out to us. If you aren't sure kind of what we do, we would invite you to talk to one of the team members. Mike Robbins is our awesome team leader for the Sound of Media team, and he would, I'm sure, gladly give you a tour of the booth, the equipment, and kind of a little bit of behind the scenes of what takes place on a typical Sunday. Once we're able to get past this virus and everybody's healthy and can get back into the building as far as being able to worship there on Sunday. But if you have any interest at all, if you have any curiosity, I strongly encourage you to reach out to Mike, to one of the members on the team. A big shout out to all of those people who make this work. A big thanks to Pastor Greg, Pastor Cliff, Carice, Mike, my wife Valerie, everybody who has played a big role in making the online services a success. Much appreciated, and appreciate each and every one of you for your support and for joining us each Sunday. It's been such a blessing to me to be able to help with this, and again, just thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for all you do for First Baptist. And again, just hopefully this video doesn't bore you or doesn't, hopefully it's a little bit of an encouragement and a little bit of a plug. If you've had any interest at all in helping with Sound and Media, that you can kind of see some of the cool things we get to do. And again, it's just constantly a learning experience for all of us. So Hope you find this video to be a blessing to you, and I just thank the Lord for the curiosity and the I guess the innate knowledge He's given me, and that I'm able to use technology to bless Him and to be His hands and feet. So the Lord gives us all a unique talent. We all have our own talents, our own abilities, and some have multiple talents that they can share. And I encourage you, in whatever your gift is, to use that to glorify Him. And I'm just thankful for the technology He's given us to make these services possible, to be His hands and feet, and to reach the world through YouTube, Facebook, and just pray that today's service that was shown at 9:15 was a blessing to you all, and look forward to worshiping with you all again next week, and we'll do it again, and I'm sure it's going to be great. So thank you all again, and God bless you, and have a great Sunday.